viewers, Optical 20 back for another video review. This time it's Skaar Predator from Hot Toys, and you can't pre-order this figure anymore because it's been long sold out. But if you want other Hot Toys figures, head over to bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link down below. They only put $4 shipping and they double box your figure, so it's pretty cool. And they have this pilot loot feature where you can combine the shipping. So let's start off with the box here. Pretty standard box. This is an old figure, by the way. I have no intentions to. I was just digging up my hard drive and I saw this. I shot this a while back. It's 1080p. I have this old backdrop. I actually found a few more clips of other older figures that I have, so maybe I'll put them up. I really don't have any new figures on the horizon, but as you can see here, it is Skaar Predator from the movie Alien vs Predator. There's the logo right here. I'm not even sure what I'm doing. Like I said, when I shoot my videos, I don't put audio in it. It's just too much going on and the audio doesn't come out right. And here he is. Opened it up. I bought this back in the day from Go Hastings. If you have heard, I think they're all folded down back in, this was like maybe 2015 if I'm not mistaken, or 2016. It was pretty decent deal back then. This guy got sold out pretty quickly back in the day, so. But yeah, here it comes. Predators are always nice. I always admired reviewing Predators. You can see here, it comes with assortment of hands. This one's nicely painted. I had the review maybe like a few months ago, and this was an old clip as well. The classic Predator, one of the best ones that I had. And this one comes with some die-cast blades, which is pretty awesome. I always love reviewing Predators, or owning them for that matter. It's just, for me, I'm not a huge Predator fan, so to speak. I find them all pretty much the same. I know they're different. I don't want to offend any Predator aficionado out there. I kind of look at them like Iron Mans. Different suits, different Predators from different movies and whatnot, and they're all nice. But as a regular collector like myself, I can't keep up with those. As you can see, he got a shuriken here. This one's made out of plastic, so it's kind of light, but you can see all the details in there. But yeah, I can't have all those, as much as I want to collect all of them, because they all look pretty awesome. It can get really pricey, and the space would be a little bit limited. I want a more diverse character, so to speak, more than a bunch of cool looking Predators, if you know what I mean. If I had all the space in the world and all the money in the world, trust me, I would buy every single one of them. There's one that I just passed on, which is the Wolf Predator. It comes with a bunch of accessories, and this one is a sheath. Nice details on this one, as you can see here. But yeah, talking about the Wolf Predator, the heavy weaponry, I believe I wanted to buy that one because it looks really cool, but I have this guy. And I just feel bad by having two Predators. Not feeling bad, but I just need one Predator. So if they remake those classic ones, I might get that as well. This is a nice looking blade right here. I'm not even sure if I gotta guess this is plastic. I still have this figure, honestly. I just haven't really touched it in a really long time. It just stayed in that case that I do have. Along with the Crow, Eric Draven. Maybe I should bust it out one of these days, take pictures of it. It's been a while. He comes with this nice necklace as well, which is made out of plastic, but really nicely detailed, as you can see here. This is the beauty of of doing this sometimes. If you're seeing this in a camera, which I'm doing right now, it just kind of marvels how nicely these pieces are. And this is, I believe, one of his what do you call this, spear that is extendable as well. Look at the paint application, and mind you, this is an older figure. And imagine, Hot Toys is improving every year on their craft, but these guys are the best of the best. We all know that. Sometimes they have misses when it comes to their pricing. They're pretty expensive, or lack of accessories, but I have never had that complaints when it comes to Predator. They've always been, I would say, one of their finest, same as Iron Man. When you buy an Iron Man, you always get your money's worth. Well, not all the time. Lately it's been overpriced, but for the most part, you can see, look at this, the stand. We haven't seen an oval stand in so long. It's always now one of those kind of hexagon stand and whatever, but This one, I'm not gonna lie, I miss this oval stand because they don't take too much space. And right here is the body of Skaar Predator. I I was debating between him, Skaar, and the other Celtic Predator, but he appeared on the movie a lot more. Plus, he reminds me that his biomass just reminds me of the classic Predator. That's why I'm a little bit more drawn to him, even though Celtic has more accessories or weapons, to say so. But and he has the awesome base, which is Celtic. He does have the diorama, which does have the alien. So if you are in the market for Predators, obviously Wolf is still available at Sideshow, if I'm not mistaken. That's readily available. But if you buy this on eBay right now, I don't think it's super expensive. However, it is a bit pricey, I would say, more than the retail, if I had to guess. But it's up to you. It's your affiliation with the movie, basically. Because if you love that movie, this is where you insert one of those sheets, that one that I showed you earlier. Here you go. Maybe nowadays this would be magnetized. Maybe, this like I said earlier, this figure is a little bit older, so their technique is a little bit older as well. But hey, it does work. So, I'm not complaining on that. You can see he's wearing his flip flops and really nice details. Paint application. This is all plastic. Those metallic things that you see, his boots and whatnot, that's kind of sharp right there. So just be careful. It's beautiful. Everything from the fishnets. I've never had any. I've held some Predators before. I've owned some of them and never had any troubles unless you play around with it too much. With the fishnets, and the body of this is a lot better than the first generation Predators. It's more proportion to its size, because Predator is a little bit bigger than your typical Hot Toys, human figures. And you can see here, you can attach his spear into the back. There's a little bit of a clamp that you can put on his. Speaking of batteries, I haven't touched this in a while, so I wonder how the batteries are. Reminded me now, because I know the battery compartment is right there, sitting on that pack that he does have, a med kit, I believe. This is I think the first one you can remove it, and then there's actually some stuff inside. Not this figure though. The cannon is articulated, as you can see, and you can also remove this if needed be. You just need some batteries if you leave this on, which sometimes I do when I'm doing reviews or taking just pictures of this figure. I sometimes forget the battery, but their batteries are easy to get. You can get them from eBay mostly, and you can get them for cheap. And going down here, let's see, just the nice details. And he does have that glossy look where it's kind of slimy and grimy for this figure, which really works well for this particular one. And see all this nice details, little subtle details on his legs and boots, and going up here. And like I said, this is an older video, so if the picture quality is not great, I do apologize. And you open this up, it does have this. I believe this does not light up compared to the old version from Predators. That one does light up. That's the cool feature about that one. It does his thing lights up, and just a lot of plus it's classic. You can never go wrong with classic. But this is the closest one. That's one figure that I actually regret selling, and I sold it for pretty much cheap, honestly. But I believe I sold it for $200, and it was the exclusive edition. And this is the best part of every Predator, is the swappable faces. Another thing is it comes with a biomass, and it comes with this open mandible and the closed mandible, but it doesn't come with any battle damage biomass, which is I don't think there's any battle damage. I haven't seen the movie in quite some time, but if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't damaged whatsoever. So it's not needed. Again, if this was newer, I believe, I keep on comparing this to the classic version because I love that figure. And now, as far as the newer Predators, I don't know if they're gonna release a new one because of that movie that kind of tanked in the box office. I watched it. It wasn't that bad. it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be because there's a lot of reviews out there. However, I don't think. Well, they showed some prototype, and I liked the look of the armor and whatnot. But I just don't think they're gonna make that. Maybe it's one of those things where they showed a prototype and would never see the light of it. And I really can't blame them. There might not be a whole lot of market, and this is how easy it is to just replace those mandibles, as you can see here. And you can kind of see the gap in his face, which I thought would be a little bit better, but I don't know. Maybe time will tell. Maybe they'll make it a little bit more. I know there's one. I think it's Predator 2. It doesn't really bother me, but in photographs you can easily like Photoshop it anyway. Like in this case, there's really no other way unless you make it rubberized, and it's included in the actual biomask, which that would be difficult though. So I don't know. I don't really have a solution for that. But you can take this out, and it's more prominent once you insert the open mandible though, where he's kind of screaming. But I'm pretty much happy with how they do this with the predators. And this is, you just insert the mask here, and with those holes you just kind of push it in, and there you can see the wires. Maybe this is something that they can improve over time, which is the battery is in the mask itself and doesn't have to run a wire, although you can hide it pretty nicely if you're displaying it. As you can see here, there's just 3 red dots, which is just laser. It's more prominent if I close the lights, but yeah, it's there. You can see the wires running around, which is again not too bad. But if they can somehow do it where it's just touch and you don't need any switches, you touch the helmet, it turns on, touch it off, it turns off, and who knows, maybe down the line this is something we would do, but they probably would add another $50 into the cost of the figure. But the paint application of the mask is pretty great. So you can see here there's a lot of kind of texture, and even the eyepiece itself, it's nice. I forgot the origin of that symbol on the top of his mask, but here you go. I'm just gonna put him in a few more poses before we wrap this thing up. I don't think I did any height comparison here, but just to give you an idea, they're more likely like a die-cast Iron Man, which is, again, like I said earlier, a little bit taller than a regular figure for Hot Toys. I didn't touch articulation, but if you have held any or seen any Predator figures, as you can see, it's single jointed on the elbows. You don't get that double jointed. There's limited range of movement for every Predator, whether it's the armor or just to conceal any joints whatsoever, because this figure is pretty bare, so you can't really hide the knees or the elbows. In this figure itself, it's not as noticeable because he does have, like leg armors and some shoulder pads that are extending, but it's a little bit limited, so you gotta just brace yourself. Maybe down the line, like I said earlier, the next batch of Predators, and we've been asking Hot Toys, or we've been wanting this for a while now, for them to use fights and bodies. There's a trade-off for using I've never really owned any fights and bodies yet. I've seen one from my friend, but I don't know how long that would hold over time. So far, it's been doing great for him. But on a figure like this, that might not be a bad idea. So you can have more articulation. But even in the movies, they don't really do crazy poses anime or action poses, because for the most part, this was, at least as far as I know, an actual person is inside of those costumes. So you can't really do like any Spider-Man kind of movement whatsoever. I know there's some CG scenes in there, but for the most part, they're just big like a tank and intimidating, and this figure represents that so well. The biomask, the dreadlocks. This is one of those figures where it doesn't get old. You just kind of do some tweaks here and there. Some characters, like if you put them now with the design, I mean, like Darth Vader is really iconic, and he would remain like that, but given the chance now, I'm sure they'll change his appearance because he's just wearing all black, and it just didn't. I would say didn't age well, that particular look. But with Predator, even the newer ones, the dreadlocks and just the mask, and it's just intimidating. It's just one of those things where you don't really need to change much. Maybe change a color here and there. So I don't know. Maybe in the future movies we'll see a more bigger. Yeah, well, they did a big one on that movie that flopped. But yeah, again, I don't see Hot Toys touching that. Well, maybe they would. Who knows? And one more pose here where it's with no mask and the mandibles are open. Like I said, there's so many looks that you can put in this figure that you won't. Then this is the beauty of Hot Toys. If you get tired of one look, having him displayed, you can take out the mask. Basically you can have 3 looks, which is the open one, the closed one, and with the mask on. And even better, if you had the one from the Predators, you can even have the battle damage mask. So that's a lot of options that you can do with just one figure, and that's the beauty. I've been a collector for 8 years now, and back in the day we always get a second head sculpt, with Green Goblin, or even the Amazing Spider-Man, Two-Face, and the Dark Knight, the DX11 back in the day, because it gives you more options for the price that we were paying for this. You would think that you would get those, but it feels like right now it's just getting more and more expensive and less accessories. Although the quality, I would say, is getting a little bit better nowadays. And here he is holding that spear underhanded. That's how he throws spear. He is really good like that. So, and you can extend that, like I mentioned earlier. It's a full range of weapons which is great because you can kind of attach all of them except for those metallic blades on his hand. That one has its own compartment in a plastic case. So if you don't want to, if you want to keep the box somewhere else and just put them all in one container, you could. So I love when they come with a bunch of accessories and you can kind of attach them all because nothing is being wasted, so to speak, in a figure. Here he is, maybe like a few more spins here. Just soak it in, that beauty of this figure. The color scheme, I just like everything about Predators, man. Like I mentioned earlier, if I can collect them all, I will. They're just beautiful. Beautiful beast, and it's kind of weird to say that. And I'll put the link down below for the Wolf Predator, and also for if you're new to Hot Toys and this is something that you're just looking for your first Predator figure, this would not be a bad first choice. Although I would recommend you can take a look. That might be expensive. I don't know, I've always have a soft spot for the classic Predator, the newer ones from the Predators movie, not where you have to assemble them and all that stuff from the previous Hot Toys. But I would say this would be a second option, and the third one would be, I forgot, that one has a cape. No, not a cape, but it's like a summer exclusive edition 2015 or 16 or something like that, where there's a spear and there's an alien head into it. I don't know the name and I'm not going to Google it right now. But yeah, those are the 3 Predators so far, and the most available one is Wolf. So if you don't want to spend too much, that you can't go wrong with that either. So if that's something available, and then something comes up in the future, I'm sure you can flip this one up and sell it on eBay or something like that. But again, if you find this video helpful, please subscribe to my channel. It really motivates me to do more videos. Like the video, share it, do all those things, thumbs up, or if you don't like it, do a thumbs down. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about this figure. Is this something that kind of catches your eye, or what kind of Predator are you do you have in your collection? Are you mostly Marvel? And even if you are, is this something that you would consider just owning, just because they're super cool? And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review.